Hey guys and gals, today's video is going to be about the importance of air rifles during grubby times, and I'm going to be your host, the Homestead Prepper. And before I get started, I want to say that rifle there on the right, I used to use that to bullseye womp rats in my T16 back home. No, I'm just kidding. That is a RWS Model 48 22 caliber. The rifle on the left is a Benjamin Sheridan 397P in 177 caliber. But guys, I'm just going to cut right to it. We could experience hyperinflation, the type like where if I were to ask my wife to go up to Publix and pick up some groceries, and she gets there and hamburgers $90 a pound, and then by the time she leaves, she leaves to check out of the store, it's $140 a pound. And I would say that's kind of out of my budget. That's out of a lot of people's budget for groceries, you know, for putting meat in your freezer and stuff like that. That's just not going to go well. But with an air rifle, you can, you of course can stretch out your food dollar quite a bit, especially in my area. I live in the Tampa Bay area, as some of you know. And around here, I'm blessed with a lot of small game. There's squirrel, rabbit, we got marsh rabbits, cottontails, foxes, bobcats, coyotes, raccoons, possums, skunks. We just got all kinds of stuff, and even occasional hogs around here too. Now I wouldn't use one of those rifles right there to bag a hog. I would have to use something a little bit bigger. But the main advantage of the air rifle is they're not as noisy as center fire rifles or rimfire rifles. Now, I know some of you have, suppressors and everything, but a lot of people don't have them. I don't have one, and a lot of people just can't afford it. But an air rifle makes an affordable alternative, especially, like I said, during grubby times. So it's just something to consider. And guys, if I lived a little farther south, down there in South Florida, and we experienced some hard times, I would definitely be checking out those chicken of the trees down there. I'm talking about the iguana infestation, and one of those air rifles right there would be the perfect thing to bring one of those home and put it on your plate or your grill. Now I know I'm going to see something in the comments, or people are going to say that, well Homestead Prepper, I don't know how to clean a squirrel or a rabbit or anything like that. Well guys, right now we're blessed with the internet, especially YouTube, and we have people out there we can ask how to clean stuff. I had never cleaned a turtle before, and my brother-in-law showed me how to do it one day. If you don't have that option, you can look at videos, and guys, I want to put this out there that if you have hard times come upon you, and you happen to bag a bunny rabbit or whatever, and you don't know how to clean it, I would venture to say that if you're hungry and your family's hungry, necessity, the mother of all invention, will kick in, and you will figure it out just like our ancestors figured out. Someone had to originally figure it out, so you will too. But that's the main point I wanted to get across about the importance of air rifles during crappy times, grubby times, whatever. Okay, I just want to throw in there, guys, there's probably going to be some people who say that, well, I don't have a lot of squirrels in my yard. I haven't seen a squirrel in years, or whatever. There's not any game around my neighborhood. Well, maybe you've got a wood lot next to you or something like that. But I want to say that this was some years ago too, but my parents had a neighbor who was trying to start a garden in her yard, and she kept having the squirrels tear it up. And she went down and bought one of those traps right there, and she bagged over 50 squirrels, and she never got them to quit messing up her garden. So guys, what I'm saying is there's a lot more small game out there than you think there is. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. And I want to say too, even present day, my parents' neighborhood is currently overrun with ducks, and you don't even need an air rifle to get them. You just walk up and grab them. Anyway, those you can. So I just wanted to put that in there. The other thing I want to say is, guys, I'm willing to wager, and I'm talking considerable money, and I'm not a gambling man, but when the crap hits the fan, and like I said, hamburgers $90 or $140 a pound, you're going to have probably a lot of relatives that know that you're into prepping, and they're going to want to come over to your house, and they're going to want to help you use up your preps, your toilet paper, your freeze-dried foods, help you use those water filters and stuff like that. And that's great. Hey, I'd say y'all are welcome to come over here. But the thing is, and it's gonna enhance my security, but you're gonna have people who've never fired a rifle before in their lives, never even handled a gun. And an air rifle is a good introduction. I was given a BB rifle when I was 9 years old, and I was trained by my GI Joe dad how to use it. And then that was more or less a gateway to other guns. Okay, so that would be, like I said, a good thing to have. You can do some quiet training, Now I know that there again in the comments, these YouTube and internet experts are going to say that you need to train like you fight and fight like you train. And I agree with that totally. And they're going to also say you need to put at least 1,000 rounds through the weapon that you're going to fight with. Now these are not weapons, guys. These are not things I would fight with. Okay. The biggest thing I'd probably get with one of these would probably be a raccoon. Okay, anything larger than that I wouldn't use that on. But if you have thousands of rounds of extra ammo, and you live in a subdivision and you want to go out there and train in your backyard while all the power's out and people are hungry and you want to do that, hey, go right ahead. But I would say most people are not going to do that in a grid down or a hyperinflationary scenario. But like I said, you can get the basics: breathe, relax, aim, squeeze, surprise. You can learn, like I said, the basics with an air rifle. The other thing too, guys, is you can also practice with these. They're a lot less expensive to shoot than even a 22. I bought some 300 rounds of 22 the other day, and it was $60, whereas it used to be probably it used to be like $2 a box, something like that back in the day. But so anyway, it's definitely an affordable way to get the job done. The other thing I want to say is that these things are just fun to shoot. Mrs. Homestead Prepper really likes coming out here in our backyard and shooting bottles, okay, glass and stuff like that. We both enjoy it, but even targets, that's fun, and like I said, it maintains your shooting skills. One other point I want to bring up is these rifles right here. If you live in a restricted area where you're not allowed to own a centerfire rifle or a 22 without going through some type of background check, and you can quite literally have it mailed to your house. Now this one right here, like I said, that's my RWS 48. It was mailed to my house. I bought that, I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. This one right here is my wife's. We were at the gun show, and she doesn't like the RWS, the side cocker. It's too difficult for her. But that one right there, she can put about 8 pumps on it, and actually has a surprising amount of power. And we paid $100 for that. And like I said, they didn't even ask to see our ID or anything, and they even gave us some pellets too on the way out. But I'm just saying that is an option for some people who are restricted for whatever reason. You'll at least, like I said, be able to put food on the plate. Okay, guys, well, that's the main thing I wanted to cover in the video. If there's anything else you could add to it, that would be great. The last part of the video is going to be a story. Really doesn't have anything to do with prepping, but it does have something to do with air rifles. And many years ago, I was working on a apartment community over in Clearwater, 440 units, I think it was. It was right there on Tampa Bay, and it was over the summer. And our job was to go in there and replace, put electric smoke detectors in there, and replace the rusted out disconnects and parking lot lighting and stuff like that. And it was over the summertime, and a guy I work with, he brought his whole family over there, and there was like 3 pools, and he had his wife, and he had a young daughter. I don't know if she was 16 or 17, and they were out there frolicking by the pool, and he'd go out there and have lunch with them. And he had a 10-year-old boy. I don't remember the boy's name, but we'll call him Little Johnny. And they gave him a BB rifle, and the little boy was all over the complex. And like I said, it was there on the bay, and he was shooting bottles and shooting cans and shooting stuff out there on the bay, and nobody thought anything about that. A 10-year-old boy walking around with a BB rifle back then, okay? Until GTE, General Telephone, came out there and climbed up one of the poles, and that little boy decided to light up the rear end of the phone guy, and the guy was kind of captive up there on the pole, and the guy yelled down there, "I'll get you, little, so-and-so." You can imagine what he said. And the guy just happened to have one of these right here on him. How long has it been since you've seen one of them? All right. And he was able to tap into the line, and he called Clearwater PD, and they came out there pronto, and they rounded up the little boy, his dad, his mom, and they gave him the 3rd degree. And for whatever reason, the phone guy, he decided not to press charges. Now it was a BB rifle. It didn't break the skin. It shot through his jeans, or I didn't even break the jeans. But I'm just saying it didn't draw blood, and I'm sure it was painful. But the guy decided not to press charges, and Clearwater, the Clearwater Police Department took the boy's rifle from him. Okay. Now, what did his parents do? Well, his parents went right down and bought him another BB rifle. And what did the little boy do? Well, they lived in some neighborhood up there in Brooksville, Florida. The little boy went around and shot windows out of the cars in the neighborhood with it. Okay. So, okay, guys, that's a true story. So I just wanted to say, if you have young children, you probably want to supervise them nowadays. But I just want to throw that in there. Okay, well, this is the Homestead Prepper out.